Goodland's Rocket 102.5 is your home for Goodland High School athletics. From touchdowns and three-pointers to home runs, Ross Volkmer has you covered with all the action. Join him for live broadcast on Goodland's Rocket 102.5, your front row seat to the Cowboys and Cowgirls. Select games video streamed on the Goodland Voice. GHS athletics this season are made possible in part by
Yost Farm Supply, Lore Electric, Next Tech Wireless, Hurl Chevrolet GMC, and the Cowboy Corner Express.
Looking for big savings on a powerful new ride? Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas has you covered. Right now, drive home a 2025 Silverado 2500 with just 3.9% financing for 60 months. Need space and style? Get $1,000 customer loyalty cash on a 2024 Chevy Suburban. Or grab a 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 Pro Diesel. Originally just over $67,000, now just over $56,000 with a huge hail discount. Swing by Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland today or shop online at hurlchev.com.
New year, new projects, and new deals at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware. Start 2025 with a bang by tackling those home improvements. Refresh your space with vibrant Benjamin Moore paint or stock up on storage totes and shelves, perfect for organizing. Lumber prices are down, making it easier to tackle your next big project. Keep warm while you grill year-round with their top-notch grills and smokers from Traeger and Weber. And don't let the snow slow you down. Check out their great selection of snowblowers from Ego and Toro. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colby, your partner for a productive new year.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
This Valentine's Day, choose Zimbelman's Jewelry for a gift that goes beyond words. Why settle for ordinary when you can gift extraordinary? Our staff is here to guide you, ensuring you find the ideal piece that represents your relationship. Capture the essence of love with the perfect heart pendant, or shop our collection of diamond earrings for Valentine's Day and every day. This Valentine's Day, remember to shop Zimbelman's Jewelry in downtown Burlington. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., or shop online at zimbelmansjewelry.com.
At FNB Bank, we understand the backbone of our community is our local farmers and ranchers. Whether you're growing crops, raising livestock, or investing in new equipment, we're here to help you succeed. Our agricultural loans are tailored to meet the unique needs of your farm, with flexible terms from people who understand what it takes to make it in agriculture. When you partner with FNB Bank, you're working with neighbors who know the land and are invested in your success. FNB Bank, rooted in our community, growing with you. Member FDIC.
Mossbarger Family Farms is proud to cultivate community alongside their industry partners. Together, they employ exceptional individuals, support community events, and provide land stewardship. If you're looking to start a career in agriculture or are a landowner, give Mossbarger Family Farms a call at 785-821-0458 to discuss employment opportunities or one of their many land lease options to provide the best return on your investment. Mossbarger Family Farm stewardship practices will appreciate your land value and provide your family financial strength for generations. Join Mossbarger Family Farms in cultivating community.
Farmers, the spring crop insurance deadline is fast approaching. Have you started the process of getting a written agreement on crops that are not typically insurable? This deadline is also March 15th, but much more information is needed in order to request coverage. Now is the time to call or stop by the insurance agency in Goodland to review your crops and coverage. See Roxanne, Susan, and Judy at the insurance agency located at 1020 Main in Goodland, or call them at 785-899-5011 for your peace of mind.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4! It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
There is a benefit to building a team and keeping it together for the length of time. But that does not happen anymore because of the portal and NIL and money.
And Max Gershon.
I'm a very confident Chiefs fan. Sometimes I'm very pessimistic as well.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Rocket 102.5 and streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than that? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He throws it up for Cure. Lincoln makes the catch, and he's running down the sideline. Nobody's there. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Goodland!
To the pros.
Bases loaded. Rockies down a run. McMahon drives it. Deep right field. How about a walk-off grand slam?
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. along with the Insurance Agency, the Farmer State Bank in Oakley, the Cowboy Corner Express, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Let's go to work.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Glad you're with us here on the Morning Blitz. Broadcasting as always on Goodland's Rock at 1025, NWKSradio.net, and of course, video streaming via the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Glad you could join us on a snowy Wednesday morning here on February 12th. Seeing some very white conditions outside, but I don't want to say like it's at least where I'm at in Goodland. I don't want to say it's the what I want to call it, the deepest stuff in the world. Maybe 3 inches, what I might see outside. Max did not make it into the office today. He played it safe. Were you concerned, Max, that the Jetta might not be able to make it through the old snow out there?
It probably wouldn't have, and I just want to apologize if my mic has any issues. We're in a little janky setup right now, but we're gonna push through. No, I was told by Chad yesterday that only 4 people will be in the office, and I was not one of those 4, so I said, all right, work from home.
All right, sounds good. So you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared with the right equipment in case this happens.
I've got just enough.
What happened to your other microphone deal setup that you've had? You have another one you've used before, I remember.
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't know where that mic stand went. Second of all, here's the mixer that I use, the little mixer thing, but it's didn't work this morning. So
you're having one of those mornings is what you're telling us. One of those type of mornings.
Yeah, but I kind of had a feeling. I kind of prepared myself for that I was going to have to use this backup plan, but here we are.
Well, it is working, so we'll give you credit at least for it working. So I will give you props in that department. So did you happen to, you made it home safely? How were the roads on the way back to Colby?
We're a little sketch. I mean, like I've said before that my car's not even myself, I haven't really driven in wintry conditions that much after being at school in Florida. So it was a little sketch. I was driving pretty slow, but we made it.
Did you not drive much in high school when you were in KC? I mean, they get good time and snows all the time.
This is the funny story. So
Mom
was driving. No, well, yeah, for a bit, or a friend, but I was driving with my learner's permit for a year until you get your restricted. Is that right?
Yes, you get your learner's permit, then it gets you out like a limited one. I mean,
right.
It's different where I'm from, but yeah, I think you are correct.
You get your learner's permit and then you get your restricted. And for me, so I went to the DMV to get my restricted license, meaning I can drive to school finally, because I was a junior in high school when I was going to get my restricted. And they told me that I actually never turned in my learner's permit and I had to wait a whole nother year.
Oh, no.
So I really didn't drive to school. Plus COVID, I didn't really drive to school until my senior year. So no, I really wasn't driving all that much in high school. I was kind of being driven around by friends and parents.
Man, so you're just you've only been driving for what, 3 to 4 years at most?
Yeah, kind of like 4 years, I'd say. And 2 of them have been in Florida, so not a fun place to drive, though. Florida is not a fun place.
I was going to say, traffic-wise, that'd be pretty interesting, I would guess.
Traffic's bad, and the people are bad at driving. There's some weird people in Florida, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, understandable so. Anyway, good Wednesday morning, everybody. Glad you're with us. Going to be a very, very cold day today, so I know there is a lot of closings and cancellations. I think pretty much every school kind of in our listening region has decided to not have school today. That includes Goodland, Colby, Sacred Heart there in Colby, Golden Plains, Brewster, Quinter, Rollins County, Oakley, Tri-Plains, Hoxie, Decatur Community, Wheatland, Grinnell. Wheatland Grinnell is actually not going to have school today or tomorrow. No school in St. Francis. No school in Weskin. No classes for Fort Hays Tech Northwest. Colby Community College, no classes. Shiloh. And then out further outside of our reach, you've got Scott City, Wichita County, Wallace County. Pretty much no school. If you're in Northwest Kansas, no school. Now, Burlington is toughing it out this morning. They are having a 10 a.m. Start. So Burlington is toughing it out. They will be having a 10 a.m. start today. So no school today. And trust me, the traffic in Goodland proves that there's not a car on the road for the most part. I was about the only one making my way in. And Raleigh drove his little tractor into the office today. Raleigh drove his little John Deere tractor because he's going to go move some snow. So he had the tractor running out front. It's a great sight. That's small town America for you right there.
I met Raleigh for the first time last night.
Yeah, you sat right behind him, I'm guessing. So yeah, you got to meet him.
Got to meet Raleigh for the first time last night. So that was good. That was
He's
awesome.
a good old boy. He's a good old boy.
He's a good old boy.
He's a good old boy. But anyway, so Raleigh had the tractor this morning. He was here, and we already had the table with the drive already got shoveled before even Raleigh got here. Shout out to Kendall for getting that done for us. Getting that done for us. So appreciate those guys getting that all moved. And yeah, so we're off and rolling on a Wednesday, but very, very cold temperatures right now in the single digits and going to remain pretty cold today. And with the wind chill, it's going to feel really cold. I think I heard tonight it could feel like negative 10 or 12 or 15. So it's just going to be a really, really cold day today. And so if you have to go out, make sure that you bundle up. It's going to be a cold couple of days here. And then Friday, we will see some warmer temperatures make their way back. I think temperature expected to be in the 30s and 40s coming up here on Friday. But if you're curious about any area closing and cancellations, be sure to go to nwksradio.net. That's where Christina has the closing and cancellations tab. It's right there at the top where it says area closing and cancellations. And you can click on that. And it'll take you to where you can see what is all not going on, what is supposed to be happening, all that stuff. So anyway, you can check that all out at nwksradio.net. As for the show today, it's kind of funny. Our guest today is going to be Ryan Carter, Colby Community College baseball coach. It's not baseball weather outside right now, but Coach Carter and his team got their first 4 games of the season underway this past Saturday down in Oklahoma. We'll get his thoughts on that and what to expect for the 2025 Trojan baseball season. We'll get to some KU and K-State basketball thoughts, both of them picking up wins. The more important one, though, was for Kansas State as they beat Arizona, and they continue this unbelievable run that they are on, getting their way back into the NCAA tournament picture with this unbelievable run that they are on. And but we will talk plenty of high school basketball as many area teams got some games in before the winter storms yesterday, including Colby and Goodland. The Lady Eagles improved to 15-2 with their 3rd win over Goodland this season. The tightest game, though, to this point, 52-41 was the final score. And then later on in the night, Goodland's Brady Brumbaugh put up a career-high 44 points, leading the Cowboys to their 4th win over Colby this season in a high-scoring affair, 78-70. The finals there from the Max Jones Fieldhouse. What stood out to you the most about last night's doubleheader, Max?
Well, I mean, starting with the Lady Eagles game, I thought they got to the line efficiently, and that was a big difference in the game. Keep forcing turnovers. They kind of just played their brand. I was talking to Coach Walker after the game about how they can win in both ways. If it's a high-scoring game, they can put up points. If it's a defensive battle like it was last night, they can do that as well. So, it was just another showing from them that that they can win in those type of games. I thought that was the best performance from Goodland, the Cowgirls so far this year. I don't know what you think about that statement. I thought that was against Colby their best performance.
No, it was no doubt their best performance. It's Colby makes winning plays. That's the big thing to me. They get, Goodland would get behind by, 6 to 8, 10 points. And then all of a sudden the Cowgirls will make a little bit of a run, which is something they hadn't done against Colby this year to this point. And they kind of fought back and made it close. But every time that they got close, Colby found a way to get an answer. Whether that was Elizabeth Barton just getting her head down, and she just knows how to get to the foul line when she gets down there. She is fantastic, and it's just got to be an absolute headache to try and stop her when she can just dribble so well amongst the trees and get in there and contort her body and get foul calls called in her favor, and then get to the foul line and make her free throws, which she's very good at that. And then the play of Allie Flanagan cannot be forgotten about last night. Allie Flanagan made 3 big threes, including one late in the game, and it was a couple minutes left, and Goodland had gotten it down to 5. They were on a roll, and Flanagan got left open because of a miscommunication on a switch, and she took advantage of it, hit the 3 at the top. So they make their shot. They just had very timely shots and really found a way to keep the Cowgirls at bay. But in the end, I think from the Goodland perspective, because I think once again Colby's really good. They're a number 4 ranked team in 3A now. They moved up a spot, and they've got, like I said, all that experience. By the way, also credit to Brent Stanley, some great second chance opportunities that she earned, got some offensive rebounds and putbacks, and like I said, it was a complete team effort from Colby. Everybody seemed to kind of get involved in some sort of fashion, and that's a high quality team right there. And they're playing some fantastic basketball. They have all season. It'll be very fascinating to see how far they can take it into the postseason. Very fascinating to see that. But from the Goodland perspective, you played them closer. You played a lot better than you have. And that's a feather in your cap. And that's a confidence booster. There's something in my gut that says these teams are going to meet again in the postseason. And I feel like it could be the closest game yet. There's just something about my gut feeling. Goodland is building. They're trying to get their team to the level of Colby. And I don't know if they'll get there this year. They're trying to get to that level. I just think it was a step in the right direction by playing a close game. That's what I think.
Well, it was also tough. They had, 3 of their 5 starters with 2 fouls in the first quarter, and then
there was some real seriously, you're right. There's foul trouble, and and some of those were correct calls, and some of them were real ticky tack. If you want to get right down to it.
How many I think the refs might have had a vendetta out for the Cure family last night. How many total fouls did people with the last name of Cure have? I think it might have been 12.
Yeah, it was close.
All 3 combined.
Yeah, it was close. Probably over under was probably set at 11.5.
But I'm with you. It was a little bit of a quick whistle last night for sure.
There was some contact for sure, but sometimes they'll let that go. It wasn't like someone was completely getting hurt based upon that.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. Credit to Colby, a great win for them, and they continue to roll along, and they're going to wrap up the GWAC here in a couple of games and bring it. And then can they carry that momentum into the postseason? I'm fascinated to see how that team handles the postseason, because it's not like as if Colby's just blowing the doors off everybody. They're playing some close games. They're winning by 5-6 points. They have blown the doors off some teams, but there's some games I'm like, well, I thought they'd win that by more, and they didn't. But that's okay. They find ways to win. Like Coach Walker told you, they find ways to win no matter what style of game it needs to be. So give them a lot of credit. They played very well last night and earned themselves a 3rd straight win over the Goodland Cowgirls. And then on the boys' side, Colby played great. Honestly, such great balanced scoring at 4 guys in double figures last night. I think Jordan Jones led him, with 16 points unofficially. But I thought Colby had some really good balance. But it's hard to stop a guy who was in his bag and on a heater, and that's what Brady Brumbaugh was, with a career-high 44 points when it was all said and done last night. 44 points for the Cowboys' all-time leading scorer in program history. He just had it going. He had it really going with a step-back fadeaway, a little Dirk shot there in the 4th quarter, had multiple 3-pointers, was getting to the basket. And he had to step up because no one else really scored. Him and not to get forgotten about was Blair Linden and how great he played last night. He had 12 points, which was a career high for Blair Linden. He was fantastic and played his best game, I thought, of his varsity basketball career. He was really, really good. Those 2 guys, they powered the Cowboys past a very balanced Colby team that had a good setup, had a good plan, and led for the entire first half, except for the last 2 seconds, and Brumbaugh hit that 3 to give him the lead.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for the Eagles. It really is. They've got they're undersized at every position, and then they miss a shot, and then there's 2 6'6" guys down low that'll rebound and kick it out to the guy that can't miss a shot. It's hard to beat Goodland when 11 is on, when Brady Brumbaugh is on, it's nearly impossible for any 3A team to beat him, because it was incredible watching him make shot after shot last night. And Colby shot 55% last night and still didn't win. They were making shot after shot after shot, and just it's credit to Colby. I mean, I don't want to say they're almost out athleted, but out. They have a height disadvantage
They
in almost
are
every
a man. They are
position.
a man. They need just another man, and they need a little bit more size.
They need more size,
need.
and that's why it's impressive, and I tip my hat to them, because for them to make it that close of a game throughout the entire thing, and even the final score is impressive, when they're just kind of it's not a good matchup for them. It's just not a good matchup for them, and but they fight, and they don't see it as that, even though that's what I think everyone that would watch would see it as. The players don't see it as that, and they continue to fight, and I thought they played good, and it's definitely a good sign going to the last 3 games of the season. That the way they played last night, I think was definitely a good sign.
They certainly get the most juice out of the squeeze. There's no doubt. Like for what they have, which is not a ton of depth, not a ton of size, they get the most out of it. This Colby,
Yeah,
they
definitely.
certainly do. Guy Tubbs, of course, is he's an all-state caliber guy, and he shows it. And he's really, really good. And Jordan Jones is really good. But Braden Foss last night had a good offensive game, getting double figures. And Grant Stevens had his shot going from deep. He hit 4 threes. Those guys, and Case and Carroll, I thought played well. Everybody who got on the floor, I thought for Colby played well. And if you're going to put up 70 points, you're probably going to have to play pretty well. But you know what? Like you said, it's just hard to beat a team where a guy's on a heater and he's got 44.
Yeah, and it sucked for Kaysen, because this might be the last time that he gets to play Goodland, and obviously he was the quarterback as well when they lost to Goodland this year in football. But he picked up 4 fouls in the fourth quarter, and he wasn't really able to finish out that game. But you could tell he was playing his heart out, and he was definitely the hungriest on the court in that game. So it sucked that he got into foul trouble and didn't get to really finish off that game. But they played hard. They played hard. And that performance against Goodland, against a lot of other teams, in almost every other team in the GWAC, would have ended up in a win. And that's now 6 of their 7 losses have come to either Goodland or Holcomb, the top 2 teams in the GWAC. So 4 losses to Goodland, 2 losses to Holcomb, 1 loss to Hayes. So they've lost to the best teams in the GWAC, and they've lost to one of the best teams in 5A. So they've been playing good this year, and the record is unfortunate at 10-7, but they continue to play good basketball, in my opinion.
Nope, they certainly do, and they'll be a real pain in the what to get out of the postseason tournament. They'll be a real pain, and nobody wants to face Colby more than likely in the postseason, because they know that'll be a very difficult out. And Cowboys, like I said, despite a slow start, finished the game strong, and really playing, really rolling now, and now just a couple wins away from locking up their first ever GWAC league title, which would be huge. They've never done that before in the history of the program, and so we'll see if they can get that done. I think pick up a few more wins. They got to get that win down at Ulysses here on Friday, and then go to Holcomb a week from Friday to finish up the regular season. If you can do that, then you've captured yourself a GWAC title. So we'll see how it all pans out here over the next couple of games. But another edition of the Colby Goodland rivalry in the books, and more than likely we could see another one still before it's all said and done. There were some other basketball scores from last night around the listening area. Some other girls' scores: Golden Plains beating Hill City 34-19. Shiloh Wallace County, a really competitive game. Shiloh holding off Wallace County 55-50 to get the win for the Cougars. Hoxie doubling up Trigo 60-30 last night. Decatur Community lost a tight, low-scoring affair to Norton 28-26. And Quinter took down Wheatley Grinnell 57-42. Other boys scores: Hill City over Golden Plains 48-41. Wallace County squeaking out a win up at Shiloh 59-56. Hoxie losing at Trigo 59-55. Quinter beating Wheatley Grinnell 40-33. Decatur Community losing to Norton 62-47. And Greeley County losing down at Syracuse, who's having a really good season. That's another team the Cowboys and Cowgirls will face here coming up in less than 6 days. They play them on this upcoming Tuesday. 58-47 56. Syracuse, a ranked 2A team on the boys' side. They beat Greeley County by 2 last night. Some other basketball scores. And then one more quick other college basketball games from last night. You had Colby Community College taking on Butler. They moved that game up a day just to make sure they got in before the storms hit. And Colby Trojan men, 72-70 winners over 24th ranked Butler. Crazy finish with less than 2 seconds to go. Guys, Melvin was fouled. He made 2 free throws, made them both. And Colby wins 72-70. Attorney Aguaji has 23 points, lead the Colby Trojans, who have won 3 of their last 4 games after going through a little bit of a tough stretch a few weeks ago. Colby women, though, they continued their rough stretch. They lost their 3rd in a row, held to a season-low 34 points in a 50-34 loss to Butler. Only one lady in double figures. It was Sophie Bennett with 11 points. Colby shot just 22% in that game as they, once again, as I said, lost their 3rd in a row. Some more other scores from around the area. So there you go. Some quick thoughts on basketball from last night. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Ryan Carter is going to join us. We'll talk Colby Community College baseball, off to a tough start, 0-4, but what does he expect here coming up in the 2025 baseball season for CCC? That's next. You're listening to a Wednesday edition of the Morning Blitz.
NWKS Radio presents A Night of Love with the Tower of Love Valentine's Night Dinner Giveaway from Twisters of Colby and Everything's a Bloomin' in Oakley. Enjoy dinner with your special someone in the NWKS Radio Weather Tower on South Range in Colby. You'll enjoy dinner for 2 from Twisters, a gift basket from Everything's a Bloomin', and Scott Cameron will serenade you with a couple of great love songs. Register now on our Facebook page at NWKS Radio.
Good morning. This is Kate Thompson with the Anderson's Trade Group. Today is Wednesday, February 12th. And on the overnights last night, March corn lower 1.5, 42.5. May up down 1 3/4 at 496 1/4. July down 1.5, 499 3/4. September down 2 cents at 469. March soybeans lower 8 3/4 on the overnights at 1034 3/4. May down 8 1/4 at 1052. July down 7 3/4 at 1068 1/4. August beans down 7 3/4 at 1064 1/2. Chicago wheat, the March contract lower 4 cents on the overnight at 573. May down 4.5, 585 1/2. July down 4 1/4 at 597 1/2. September soft wheat down 4 1/4 at 610 3/4. Kansas City wheat, the March contract lower 2.5, 590 1/2. May down 2 3/4 at $6. July down 2.5 at 609 3/4. September hard wheat down 2 3/4 at 621 3/4. On the stock market this morning, the Dow down $363 at 44,308. The S&P down $60 at 6,032. The Nasdaq down 232 at 21,554. Gold lower $30 an ounce at 2,902. Crude oil down 80 cents a barrel at 72.53. If you have any questions about marketing grain, let's talk about risk management options. Give our Colorado office a call, John Hanke or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or in our Kansas City office, myself, Tom Saludo, Jared Ball, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000.
Our farmers feed us all. For generations, they've done what's best for the land. So why is the litigation industry threatening Kansas farmers' go-to crop protection tool? Without glyphosate-based herbicides, crop yields will drop, costs will soar, and we'll all see even higher grocery bills. Farmers need to be supported, not controlled. To keep glyphosate available in our state, go to TakeControlKansas.com. Paid for by Modern Ag Alliance in support of Kansas
Night of
farmers.
Country Legend, featuring the front man of country, Larry Stewart, formerly of Restless Heart. Richie McDonald, formerly of Lone Star. And Tim Rushlow, formerly of Little Texas. Frontman of Country, live at the Colby Event Center, Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at nwksradio.net.
LivestockMarket.com offers all the tools you need for a successful production sale. The easy-to-use online platform makes it super easy to take bids from anywhere in the world. Buyers can place pre-bids and real-time bids, browse your sales catalog, and watch your sales
choose. Stop by a location near you to take advantage of this amazing deal today. Next Tech Wireless, connecting Kansans.
From the locker room to your morning commute, it's all sports, all the time.
That's what I'm talking about. Sport!
On the Morning Blitz.
Once again, NWKSradio.net, the place to go for your area closings and cancellations. Once again, pretty much no school throughout the listening area today, despite Burlington, who's got a 10 a.m. start. So be aware of all that. So go to NWKSradio.net for complete closing and cancellations. Like I said, probably about 3 inches of powder have fallen here in Goodland. I don't know how much has fallen in Colby, but one thing it is sure, it is certainly going to be a cold day today. Temperature is not going to get any higher than probably 15 degrees. So as our next guest would understand, that's not exactly his type of weather. That's why he finds himself inside. Colby Community College head baseball coach Ryan Carter joins us now. Luckily, you found a heater because this is not baseball weather, right, Coach? It's hard to see the ball in the snow.
Well, it does present some challenges, and we've been fortunate though. We've had more outside practices so far this spring than we've had in the years past. So it's stacking days right there, just trying to get the experience outside. But baseball in this part of the country is typically slow starters. You start a little bit slow and you build momentum as the year goes on and the weather warms up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But to get outside, how much of an advantage is it to be outside, working outside in a sport like baseball, particularly early on?
I don't think there's no comparison, right? Being outside, it's just with your depth perception and with your your timing and your spatial awareness, getting outside in the elements and with the open spaces really really helps prepare you. You feel really good indoors in a controlled setting. You feel really, really on time and feel like you're really ready. And then you get outside and it's a whole nother ball game. So, being able to get outside and to build that, like I said, it's more like spatial awareness and timing just is really beneficial.
Ryan Carter, our guest, joining us on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline. I wanted to get your thoughts on, last year, of course, only winning about 25% of the games that you guys played. It was a tough year. How did you go about this previous off season with your guys and in recruiting to try and make sure that this 2025 season was going to be hopefully a better one and a step in the right direction?
Well, we had to start with culture again. I think that we always had a good culture, but we needed to get a little bit tougher. I think that we speak of the indoor in the past couple of years. I seem to gravitate a little bit more to going inside on uncomfortable days. And this year we made sure that we went outside and kind of got back to grassroots a little bit. And recruiting wise, we started recruiting, high character, tough athletes. And, I feel really good with where we're at. We had kind of a rough, it's a rough weekend win and loss record, but it's the best that we played at the beginning of the year. Western Oklahoma is a really, really good team. So, I feel really positive with where we're at right now. We've had really good practices. We had a really good fall. I think it's just a matter of getting consistent time outside now for us.
Coach, what do you think will be a couple of the biggest areas of improvement this year for your crew?
It's definitely going to be on the mound. There's no doubt about it. I would like to say our athleticism has improved our defense, but we played really, really awful defensively this last weekend. But on the mound, 3 of our 4 starters went 5 innings, and they could have gone more, but we kind of pitch counted them, got them out of there, and that never happened before. On our 4th game, defense kind of let him down. He looked really good. So our pitching's been really good. And, we played 3 really tight games against a nationally ranked Division II junior college. And, Western Oklahoma's a really good team. So I think on the mound, we have depth and we have guys that can pitch a little bit.
Coach, who are some bats that you maybe have already noticed or are expecting to take that next step up this year in your lineup?
Well, we have a few sophomores in there: Isaiah Padilla, Gavin Galinza, Rafael Ranger. Those 3 guys, We're 300 or close to 300 hitters for us last year, so we need them to build on that and become even a little bit better. And we have a few freshmen that have shown some promise. A young man who's actually older brother played for me, Turner Zadunik, plays first base and outfield. He's looked pretty good. We have a redshirt freshman, Tyson Shade from Windsor, Colorado, and he's looked pretty good up to this point. And I think it's just a matter of getting these guys. And I guess probably our best freshman hitter, and maybe our best hitter overall, is a kid out of Erie, Colorado, named Jacob Mraz, and he catches and plays second base, and he's a guy that has really been good for us up to this point as well.
Ryan Carter, our guest here on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline, head coach for the Colby Community College baseball team. You talked about how you were trying to get some more guys, get some more toughness in your team. How do you go about judging that when you're trying to get guys onto your team? How do you go about judging that in a game like baseball and recruiting players like that?
Well, I think the toughness is not necessarily, when we look at it, can you endure abuse? We're looking at guys who are a little bit mentally tough, and I think everybody has it in them. They just have to have it expected out of them. So I think that what we were looking for is guys who are coachable, who wouldn't quit, who would accept a challenge, and then we lay out our plan and let them go to work. And I think that it started with recruiting and being pretty clear with our expectations of what we were trying to do different, and then holding that standard as our coaching staff. And so when you go and look and you try to find guys who are I use the word gritty right there, but you want guys who are coachable and understand that what we're trying to do, and they buy into that. So I think that the communication starts, and then we just have to hold a standard every day.
Coach, how do you I was going to say, how you look at this past weekend series, you had a couple of games there where you lost by 1 run, 4-3 and 2-1. What's the difference? What's the difference in turning those games around here early on in the season, those close losses?
Well, the first game was a 9-3 game, and it was we were 6-3 going into the 8th, and they had a 3-run home run to make it 9-3. After I think that game should have been, the box score doesn't say it, but of the 9 runs, I think that 6 of them were unearned. The 2-1 game, we made some defensive mistakes early. In the 4-3 extra inning game, same thing. I think of the 4 runs they scored, at least 2 were unearned. So, as you look at that, we understand that the process is right. We just have to play better defense. And, I think defense is a mindset, and, it's something that we're going to approach these next 2 weeks before we play again. And, we had good at bats, and we played a really good team that they didn't give us an inch. They played really good defense, took, several base hits away from us. I think that we barreled up quite a few balls. I don't mind our offensive output on the weekend. I think that, pitching and defense wins, and we had the pitching part. Now we have to figure out how to stop giving extra outs. And if we can do that, then we're going to be in every game.
Coach, what do you think about just the conference that you're going to be seeing in general this season?
Our conference keeps getting deeper and deeper. Except for the last couple years, obviously we've always been in the top half. Pratt's a lot better. Cloud is really, really good. Garden City is much improved. Seward had a really good year last year, and after several down years. So and Dodge City is super talented. So I think our conference continues to get deeper, and maybe we don't have a Johnson or a Cali on the top 10 like the East, but 1 through 9, I think that our side is really, really tough.
And with that being said, when you schedule for the the non-con to lead into conference, you've got some games against some Colorado schools. Then you've picked up some series against KCK and Indian Hills. And then of course Western Oklahoma State, which you faced, of course, this past weekend. How do you try to balance challenging your guys while also trying to build confidence in your guys?
That's a great question. I don't know if I ever get it right. I know that by nature, my pride gets in the way a little bit. I always just say that I want to play the toughest schedule we can because I think that prepares us the most. It doesn't sugarcoat anything, but I know that confidence is a really fickle thing. So, when it comes to, KCK just happened to bounce that they had to bye the same weekend we did. So we just try to match up and be able to have a game. And then Indian Hills, their coach is a Colby alum from the mid '90s. So he was looking for games, so try to help him out a little bit. And, so Indian Hills wasn't necessarily in the mix at the beginning, but they're a super talented team too. So, I think that we kind of drew the short straw with our bye. It would have been nice to maybe get, not to bash any of the teams from the East, but it would have been nice to maybe get one of their middle of the road teams instead of one of the top 3 teams in the East. But that's just the way the schedule shook out. And, but I also know that you play a team like KCK and Indian Hills, you don't have much room for error. So, those types of games can work really well in your favor. If you go in and have some success, it really starts to catapult you. So it's a great question, and I don't have the answer. I just try to play games that I think are going to challenge our guys to get them better.
That was actually going to lead in. You kind of answered there a little bit, but yeah, I mean, don't guys gain more from having the success than they do having the failures? Even though, playing tougher competition is good, it gets you prepared. But I mean, to have that success, especially in a game like baseball, can help lead to more success.
It can. And, it's, in the junior college game for us, right, our goal is to develop guys and move them on. And, we want that confidence and we want that success, but at the end of the day, making a great run in the playoffs at the end of the year seems to carry a little bit more weight and enhance the experience a lot more than maybe playing some games, some easier games in the middle of the season and then laying the egg at the end of the year. So I think that the ultimate goal is if we can get hot and play really good at the end of the year, it kind of overshadows anything that could have happened in the middle of the season.
Coach, I know, you mentioned that you have a couple weeks until you play next against Lamar on, looks like February 20th on the Thursday. You said that the biggest thing you want to see improvement-wise is defense. Every team kind of approaches that differently. What is the next few weeks of practice going to look like for you guys in order to make that defense better?
I don't know if there's a whole lot that we're going to be able to do as far as practically being on the field and working on it. I think it's a mindset of taking pride in the little things, playing better catch, doing your little glove work, fundamental drills, a little bit more focus every day. I think it just really comes down to focus. That those are the things that we really need to preach is the guys are talented enough to do it. It's not a talent thing. It's a focus thing. So I think this next week and a half is just, I heard somebody say once, it makes sense. The devil's in the details, and we just got to really focus on the details.
Ryan Carter, our guest here, Colby College head baseball coach from the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline. One more from me, Coach. I know you're a big Dodgers fan, and the off season, of course, has been riddled with Dodger signings and deferred money. Do you love baseball this way, even if you're a fan of the team that doesn't?
Well, let's be really clear here that every team in Major League Baseball has guys on deferred money, every single one of them. And, we don't even need to go back to every July 1st when Bobby Bonilla receives his $1.1 million from the Mets. So I think that is what you're looking at with the Dodgers and you'll look at every other front office person in the league as well as players. Every single one of them just says they're doing it better than everybody else. And they're becoming a destination with player development and the way they treat their players. So I think that they've got a great formula, and I think it's really easy to point fingers and say, I know that they have a deep pocket, but, they're building something that's sustainable. So I'm all right with people hating and disliking me for liking them, but I know that come October, I'm usually going to have a team to cheer for.
It's great to be king. It's great to be king.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach. Really appreciate the time. Good luck with the upcoming games. We'll catch up soon here, okay?
I appreciate it, Ross. Have a great warmer day.
Yeah, you as well. Stay warm. We'll talk to you later. Once again, great stuff there from Ryan Carter, Colby Community College head baseball coach. We'll have him on a lot over the next few months. And I always love to give him sass about his Dodgers and how they are, of course. Anyway, just doing it better than anybody else. He's pretty much right on that. All right, let's get to a break. It's 8:47 Central. Actually, now 8:48 Central, 7:48 Mountain Time on a cold and chilly Wednesday. 4 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Our way to a high of 15 today. Max didn't even make it into the office. He's doing the show from home, but that's all right. We'll take a break. When we come back, big wins last night for Kansas State men, and KU gets a win over Colorado. We'll dive into those games next. You're listening to the Morning Blitz on Wednesday.
Big savings are waiting at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2025 GMC Sierra 2500 with 4.9% financing for 60 months, or drive off in the 25 GMC Sierra 1500 with $2,750 in rebates or 2.9% financing for 48 months. Plus, don't miss your chance to save big on their last hail vehicle, a 24 GMC Sierra 2500 Pro Diesel. Originally just over $67,000, now just over $56,000. Deals this good won't last. Hurry to Hurl Chevrolet GMC today or shop online at hurlchev.com.
Your Cheyenne County Hospital in St. Francis offers you a quality rehabilitation department. This includes a variety of staff that provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, aquatic therapy, speech therapy, and women's health. To schedule an appointment, call 785-332-2104. Again, that's 785-332-2104. The Cheyenne County Hospital on 210 West Street in St. Francis.
New year, new projects, and new deals at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware. Start 2025 with a bang by tackling those home improvements. Refresh your space with vibrant Benjamin Moore paint or stock up on storage totes and shelves, perfect for organizing. Lumber prices are down, making it easier to tackle your next big project. Keep warm while you grill year-round with their top-notch grills and smokers from Traeger and Weber. And don't let the snow slow you down. Check out their great selection of snowblowers from Ego and Toro. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colby, your partner for a productive new year.
The Farmers State Bank of Oakley has been financing agriculture since the day we opened our doors. Hello, this is Corbin, and we are proud to be your locally owned partner in ag. We invite you to come and visit with us when you need to purchase new or used farm equipment, or need any type of agriculture or business loan. We have the knowledge, experience, and financial resources to keep you growing. The Farmers State Bank of Oakley, a tradition of community and agriculture for over 115 years. Member FDIC.
Farmers, the spring crop insurance deadline is fast approaching. Have you started the process of getting a written agreement on crops that are not typically insurable? This deadline is also March 15th, but much more information is needed in order to request coverage. Now is the time to call or stop by the insurance agency in Goodland to review your crops and coverage. See Roxanne, Susan, and Judy at the insurance agency located at 1020 Main in Goodland, or call them at 785-899-5011 for your peace of mind.
Ross Volkmer,
Listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about.
Max Gershon.
That broadcast school has really paid off.
This is the Morning Blitz.
Thanks again to Ryan Carter for joining the show today. Interesting day to talk baseball, that's for sure, with the weather outside, but that's okay. I'm lining up a fun guest, one of our favorites for tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see if we can get him on. That's a tease. They teach you that in the Dan Patrick School of Learning and Broadcasting.
Learning.
Did you get to meet Dan
learn.
Patrick?
No, it's
Did you ever get to meet
First of all, Dan Patrick School of
Sports.
Broadcasting.
Broadcasting or sportscasting? Whatever.
Well, now I don't even know. You've confused me. Yeah, no, I met Dan a couple times. Dan's great. We still get to do Zooms, even if we've graduated, where we get to send in work and he gets to review our work. And he's great. He's awesome. He's one of one. He's the GOAT. He's the best.
So you got to meet him in person. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually did I anchored a show, or a little part of a show, with him in attendance. I was so nervous because there was the whole school basically was watching in front of our news set, and then he was to the side just kind of like looking at me. It was I have some really cool pictures of like me on the set and then him in the background. It's cool, but yeah, it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, understandably so. Last night in college basketball, K-State gets a huge 73-70 win over 13th ranked Arizona to push their winning streak to now 6 straight, including 4 straight wins over ranked opponents for Kansas State men's basketball. Doug McDaniel had 24 points. Gershon had 16 points and 7 boards. Just an unbelievable turnaround we're seeing out of Kansas State here as they have rattled off 6 straight wins. And like I mentioned, with 4 over ranked teams. And just like that, at that 13-11 mark, if they continue on this pace, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament. Sounds ridiculous, and I don't think anybody would have predicted it, but that's what it looks like right now to me.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen, but they're playing like the best team in the Big 12 right now somehow. It's just been a wild 180 from Jerome Tang and his guys. I mean, no one questioned that the talent was there, that they could be able to do something like that. And just another impressive win, I'll say, against an Arizona team that was also playing some good basketball. And I'm telling you, no one wants to see. No one wants to see K-State.
Arizona had won 6 in a row going into that one. So it wasn't like as if Arizona was on a slide or anything. No, they were playing good too.
K-State right now, and if they keep playing like this, no one's going to want to see them in the Big 12 tournament. And if they keep playing like that to the Big 12 tournament, then no one's going to want to see them in the tournament. They're playing some excellent basketball, and it is fun to watch. Look, I'm a Jayhawk. I have the shirt. I don't know if you can see it, but it's been fun to watch K-State go on this streak.
We got to get a guest on in time. I got to ask, what has changed? What has clicked? I
know who the guest is.
What'd you say?
I think I know.
Yeah, we're going to find. I'll get a guest on tomorrow, but we'll see. But I would love to know what has changed, what has clicked, what is different. I would love to know what that is, simply because the way that they have played here as of late has just been so good, and I just want to know what changed.
It's so hard in basketball. It's very hard in basketball. An argument for each bang, and then there you go for the races. Yep. But it's happened for K-State.
And like we mentioned yesterday on the program, we talked about how, you look at it. Yeah, they've got road games coming up at BYU and Utah here over the next over the 15th and 17th. But those are teams that are, in the bottom half. I guess BYU's got the same record. I guess I take that back. Same record as Kansas State, 7-6. But Utah's below them, and then Arizona State they sit below them. They're just 3-9. UCF's below them. Colorado's the bottom. Cincinnati's down there with Colorado. Towards the bottom. So they could really, really, really get on an absolute steamer right here and just completely run through all the way to the regular season finale against Iowa State, which is at home. And so I'm telling you, they could rattle off 7 more straight wins, put themselves at 20-11, and pretty much put them right there in the NCAA tournament. That's amazing. They probably couldn't have lost one more game, and it could have probably put them out of there. But they pushed it to the absolute brink before they've turned it around.
Well,
finish strong.
They got to keep the foot on the gas. I mean, they can't overlook any of those games because one loss and it could change the outcome of the season. So if they keep playing with this urgency and like every game is a playoff game, which is kind of how I feel like they're playing right now, then they can do it. But just don't take the foot off the gas, because a team like BYU could sneak up and change the entire way that this season could end.
Kansas gets a 71-59 win over Colorado last night at home. It didn't feel like, Kansas got off to they were leading by 14 at halftime. Give Colorado credit. They actually outscored KU in the second half. KU took their foot off the gas, and Colorado kind of got it back down. I think it was to about a 6-point game early in the second quarter or second half, but Kansas pulled away. In the end, KU kind of playing with their food again. Hunter Dickinson led them with 19 points and 9 boards, 13 from Zeke Mayo and 10 apiece for DeJuan Harris and KJ Adams. But yeah, you can probably decipher this game a little bit better. I don't know what your thoughts on it. I mean, Colorado's the unfortunately the worst team in the Big 12 at 0-13. I actually thought they played pretty darn hard. Considering the type of season that they're having. They played very, very hard and hung in there with KU, but KU once again just has way more talent than Colorado does at this point in time.
Yeah, and that was the only difference in this game. I think Colorado maybe played even harder than KU did. I thought Hunter played good. But it's just another. I mean, it's a win. But it's not like a moving the chains win for KU. They got to just keep piling it up and see what can happen. But it wasn't really. There was nothing. I watched when I got home. I turned it on and watched a bit of it. But yeah, it wasn't anything different than what we've seen from KU. Hunter played good, and without Hunter that game they probably don't win that game.
But we'll see if Kansas can break this streak of the win-loss. They go to Utah and BYU as well. I wonder if KU and K-State fly out together. I wonder if they do to save money.
Doubt it.
Anyway, they will be at Utah on Saturday, and then I think it's BYU on probably Tuesday is when that is.
Yeah.
But they've got those games back-to-back for their little Western Conference swing. Then back home against Oklahoma State, then at Colorado, and then home versus Texas Tech, at Houston. You should go to the Colorado game on the 24th. That'd be fun.
Is it in Colorado? Maybe.
Yeah, that's CU. CU Event Center.
We'll see.
What day is the 24th? I think that's a Tuesday, actually. I don't think you want to do that.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, it's a Monday. It's a Monday. You're not going to want to do that. Guess what the start time is, Mountain Time?
What?
9.
Yeah, no. I'm going to be good, I think. I think I'm going to be good here.
One late start on a Monday. Wow. That is super late. Holy cow. Anyway, so we'll see if KU can buck that trend of the win-loss, which they have now done for 6 consecutive games now. See if they can buck that trend and get off that
few weeks.
All right. Anything else? Miss anything here? I don't think so. With that,
so. Let's get
to the walk-off here. We got some baseball stuff to get to the walk-off.
Drive, deep left, grand slam!
And back lifts his ball high, deep to right. How about a walk-off Gray? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Royals report for spring training today. And I believe full workouts begin on Monday, but they report for spring training. That's got to be exciting for you. You ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll. That's the luxury of being a Kansas City sports fan right now is you get to the Super Bowl, and then guess what? A week later, regardless if you win or lose, the Royals report for spring training. So it's an exciting time. Spring training always takes forever, I feel like. It's once it gets going, it's like, all right, this is going to be the longest month of no sports until we get to the opening day. But I'm super pumped. Obviously Cags is going to get some spots when spring training does start. I'm just so interested to see this next 2 months how this roster kind of formulates and what the opening day roster, what the opening day lineup looks like. I think I have a good idea of what it will be, but it's a great time. It's a great time for baseball fans.
I saw they're bringing back Ned Yost to help JJ Piccolo. We'll see if that has any.
The senior advisor. I love that Ned's back in the building. That's always a good sign.
Super senior advisor. My walk-off point here goes back to college basketball. The ghost of Bob Knight strikes last night. Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo was going to break Bob Knight's record for Big Ten wins last night. But Indiana, Bob Knight's former school, upsets the Spartans 71-67, leaving him still just a little bit behind. Bob Knight's ghost strikes last night there.
I think they're still tied. They're still tied at 353.
That's funny. He goes, you're not going to beat my team in order to set the record. That's why they buried me upside down.
So it's Bob Knight, Tom Izzo, and then 3 different Purdue coaches in the top 5, and they're all way behind Tom Izzo.
Izzo has done a great job. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
All right. That'll do it for us today. We're back again tomorrow in 23 hours. Thanks for listening. It's been the Morning Blitz.